Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the State Basketball Centre for the 2019 National Junior Classics. A change in the commentary booth. Steve Chalmers is my name, and I'll be joining you for the Under-18 Girls Grand Final. And it's my pleasure to introduce a very special guest on the broadcast, the former Opal, and recently named the Basketball Victoria Metro Girls Development Coach, or Head Coach, I should say.
That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
It is a little bit, but more importantly, a very, very good colour commentator, and that's what we're going to lean on today. Jenny Screen, welcome.
Thank you very much, Steve. Looking forward to the game.
Bulleen taking on Forestville, and it's pretty much a replay from the 2018 National Junior Classics, which saw Forestville take out the title last year. Both teams come into this game undefeated. Bulleen clean sweeping Group D, defeating Sturt, Bendigo and Manly Warringah 3-0, while Forestville defeated Diamond Valley, Dandenong and Hawthorn. The Boomers successfully got past Southern Peninsula and Dandenong in the final stages, while Forestville took care of Nuttawading and Altona. Let's have a look at some of the lineups in this contest. Bulleen going with Casey Valenti-Paya, Erin Riley, Chelsea Sume, Sasha Karakis, Kayla Vitale, Olivia Santalis, Alex Keating, Jessie Yamuni, Maeve Chaplin, Antoinette Emma Nopu and Hayley Toslin Horvat, while the Eagles will have on their roster Montana Briggs, Rebecca Frisbee-Smith, Jordana Vidmar, Grace Fashini, Taya Ranger, Madison Freer, Cheyenne Ashworth, Miles Scarlett and Kelsey Rees as the game is about to get underway. Any words to some of these players before we get underway?
Big deep breaths, let the first few minutes come to you and then play some good basketball.
The Eagles of Forestville in yellow, the Boomers of Bulleen in blue, and it's the Bulleen Boomers through Casey Valenti-Paya who have the first points of the game.
Casey's a nice young up-and-coming junior in the Pathways program, so hopefully seeing her today display why she's in that program.
Here's Freer, handoff, Frisbee-Smith. Double screen, Paya kicks out, Keating, three, and the foul. There's a start for the Boomers.
Really,
Alex Keating.
Really good execution there and poise on that shot with the finish. Held her form and then drew the foul for a 4-point play. Nice start by the Bulleen Boomers.
The Boomers off to a quick 6-0 start, and it's the perfect beginning for arguably the home side. Briggs, Vidmar in the pick and roll with Ashworth, inside. There's Ashworth to the basket. There's Forestville's first points of the day.
Nice for them to get their first 2 points on the board just to calm those nerves a little bit. A lot of pedigree in that Forestville Eagles team with Rachel Spawn's daughter coming off the bench. Tony Vidmar was a former Socceroo, so no doubt there's some athleticism that'll be playing today out there on the court.
Absolutely, professionals everywhere you look.
And another one checking in, Kelsey Rees. She's actually at the Centre of Excellence at the moment up there in Canberra, doing a great job. Again, both her parents played. Paul Rees played a very long career with the Adelaide 36ers, so no doubt she'll have an impact, especially with her height in the keyway.
Well, I'm glad you said that. She's been excellent this tournament. I'm surprised she didn't start.
Well, I think it's basically because she's not technically part of this program normally. She has been away at the COE. They are missing their best player, who's actually not able to play this tournament due to concussion that she sustained playing in the ABA in Adelaide 3 weeks ago and hasn't recovered. So AIS, or the Centre of Excellence, have been gracious enough to allow her to come down and play, and it's been great for the Forestville Eagles to have her.
Excellent to hear. There is Montana Briggs for three to reduce the gap. And obviously our best wishes go out. As you mentioned, concussion there out of the Forestville Eagles lineup.
Yeah, it's something you never want to see, but is part and parcel of the game, so hopefully she'll have a quick recovery.
Riley for 3. That's no good. Offensive rebound. Santalis. And it's in. Forestville quickly the other way. They decide nothing was doing, so they slow that back up into the half court. Frisbee Smith inside. Rees. That's easy. Bunny, though, has been missed. There's a foul. We're going the other way. They're the perfect opportunities for Kelsey Rees really to make her mark in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure she'll be frustrated with that first miss, but it's only early days in this game, just finding her form. But I'm actually liking Santalis. I think she's come out aggressively, number 28 for the Bulleen Boomers, and setting a tone for that team.
Here's Riley straight to the basket, blocked by Rees. The Eagles go the other way. Briggs. Now free. Vidmar. Frisbee Smith ends up in Vidmar's hands for 3. Great hustle there by Frisbee Smith. Gives the Eagles another opportunity. Vidmar. Inside Rees. Great turn. That's what we're looking for. The Boomers quickly up the other end. Through Valenti Paya. Skip pass. That was dangerous. Sue May finds Keating. She'll head to the line.
I'm liking the tempo which Bulleen are pushing the ball up the floor. I think it's something that we need to bring back into our basketball, that pace, that first 6 to 8 seconds on the shot clock. So good job by Casey there, Valenti Paya, to push the tempo. And obviously Forestville Eagles have to do a better job in terms of their defensive transition early to stop getting penetration in the paint by Bulleen.
It may have even been a trait by the Boomers. If you were with us for the last game in the under-16 boys, the Bulleen Boomers were very, very quickly up and down the floor in that one.
Yeah, I think it's an advantage, the ability to score in the first 8 seconds, but it also puts the defense on a back foot scenario. So it may not mean you score. If there's an advantage, you will have a look at it, but then it puts you in the driver's seat for that next 8 seconds in the shot clock.
Boomers with the early advantage here, 11-7. Rees looks at a long one. That's a 3. Riley quickly up the floor, trying to get something in transition. She goes straight to the cup herself. Great take, great move.
Nice job there by Riley. Deceptively quick, in actual fact. Nice little inside-outside for the right-hand finish.
Frisbee Smith just as quick up the other end. Kicks it back out. Freer. That's no good for 3. And there's Santalis. Very aggressive on the defensive rebound, as you mentioned. Eagles try to pick a pocket there, just taps out of bounds, and we'll have our first timeout of the morning of the Under-18 Girls National Junior Classic Grand Final between the Bulleen Boomers and the Forestville Eagles. It's the Boomers 13-7. What have you liked so far in the early parts of the game?
Yeah, look, if I had have told you from watching the warm-up, I thought, maybe Forestville were going to set the tone of the game because Bulleen came out with only 10 minutes to go in terms of warm-up. But to be fair, these girls have been playing for 3 days, and Forestville will have 9 girls to rotate through them, and luckily for Bulleen, 11. So I'm liking the tempo which Bulleen are pushing. Obviously, they're more mature in their size. I think that's an advantage for them. So Forest will have to do a job there. But, nerves are settling in right now. We've just hit the halfway mark of the first quarter. So no doubt Forest will start to find a bit more tempo. I think they've got to get their feet into the paint a bit more ball penetration, and make Bulleen have to play some good defense. But credit to Bulleen right now. They're setting the tone for the game.
I think you're right when you speak about the Eagles trying to use the paint a lot more. It feels like they have a size advantage when it comes to the 4 and 5 man. And obviously Kelsey Rees has got a lot to do with that. So I think they'll look to attack her and use her a lot more on offense for the remainder of this quarter. Valenti Paya back underway. Keating. Riley inside Santalis. Kicks it out. Now Paya. No good from 3. Rees the rebound. And she's playing point centre herself. Look at this. decides to kick it back out. There's Frisbee Smith in a little bit of trouble. Throws one up. That is very, very lucky, but the balance by Rebecca Frisbee Smith.
Just a little bit of persistence. She was able to absorb the contact. I thought that was pretty solid D as a coach. That's something that you want to see, but credit to her offensively. She was able to get the reward and finish with a 2-point basket.
Keating inside to Riley. Back out to Keating for 3. Thinks about it. Decides against it. Goes backboard. A little bit of a force. And ends up with nothing. Now Forestville running the floor. Just makes it to Montana Briggs. It's a little bit sloppy here, this possession. Vidmar tapped away. The Eagles will retain possession, however.
Yeah, it's something that I've noticed recently as I've started to evolve in this coaching realm as I've retired as an athlete, but the lack of skill in terms of passing and the quality to be able to pass from right and left hand is something that I think across the board in Australia we need to get better at, and seeing the floor. So hopefully that will be a point of emphasis in the next 12 months, especially here in Basketball Victoria with the girls that I work with.
Might touch on a little bit of that skill development a little later on, Jenny.
Absolutely. Fundamentals of the game.
It's a long 3. Shot clock must have been expiring.
A bit confused there because the shot clock is reading 15 seconds.
It did. It had me confused as well. I had an assumption there, but then I thought it didn't hit the ring. Clock was still counting down in the 20s. Valenti Paella looks like she's going to lead this squad from the front. Has the ball in her hands a lot when it comes to Boomer's possessions. Goes straight to the cup, takes the tough contact, gets her own rebound, reverse layup. That's been blocked by Reese. Briggs takes it away. Vidmar inside Reese. Gets her defender up in the air. The up and under, that's lovely from Kelsey Reese.
Nice poise, great left-hand finish there, but the footwork is where the reward paid off for there. Great job defensively there for the Forestville Eagles. I thought Bulleen were a little bit stagnant, hence why Sam Thornton, the head coach of Bulleen, have called a timeout, as Eagles have obviously steadied this ship, and now we've got a 13-13 point game here in the first quarter.
There's that replay, getting Olivia Santalis right up in the air, and the easy left hand layup for Kelsey Reese. Been averaging 11 points per game so far this tournament. A tournament high of 19 points against Altona when they met them in the semi-final, defeating the Gators by 21 points to feature in this game we're speaking of today. As you can see there's Samantha Thornton speaking to her Boomers troops, just trying to settle them down after the Eagles have made a small run. And while we have a break in the play, the 2019 National Junior Classic just wouldn't be possible without the continued support of Basketball Victoria's partners. It is at this point in time we would like to thank Spalding and One and 2K Sports. You're on the 2019 National Junior Classic live stream thanks to Sportscast Australia. The Under-18 Girls Grand Final between Forestville of South Australia and Bulleen of Victoria. It's a very big hello to all our South Australian viewers who may be checking in for the first time. It's 13 apiece. Here's Riley inside Santalis. With a foul being called. A little bit of a risky pass there, but got the whistle.
The nice thing I like there, the pass might have been risky, Steve, but I think just the ability to pick and roll. I see constantly pick and pop, which is great if you have that advantage. But if there's a switch, ultimately what you want to do, especially with a girl of her size, is just roll to the bucket. Get yourself to the foul line, which you've done, which is nice.
You speak of skill development. I want to speak about some free throw techniques. Just got to see the first one here. I don't mean to pinpoint any individual, but what are your thoughts on some of that? 2 of 2, it obviously works.
Well, look, we can sit here and analyse people's shots every day, but some of the best shooters in the world aren't textbook at all. I mean, it could work for her, and obviously in that scenario, 2 from 2 is what you want. So that's the first time I've seen her shoot from the foul line, so I'm not going to critique a shot one off, but that shot there, that nice little lefty from number 10, Vidmar, was a good way to get Forestville into the lead for the first time this game.
That's right, excellent work, Jordana Vidmar, wide open for a corner three. Here's Riley for the Boomers. Skip pass. Keating. She's been very good this tournament. Shumay, long three. Reese cleaning up everything on the glass. Frisbee Smith. Thinks about using Reese. Does use Reese. Another great skip pass. Vidmar wide open to the corner again. 2 of 2.
Yep. That old saying or adage or cliche, go to the well until the well runs dry. A great example of back-to-back threes by the Forestville Eagles. Nice inside-outside play.
Valenti Peo to Keating. Tough bucket off the glass. The Eagles quickly running the other way. It's a sloppy pass, just saved by Freer. The shot doesn't go though. And there's a foul, we're going the other way. That one is on Frisbee Smith.
I think the execution was right, like pushing the ball up ahead. Obviously the pass was a bit erroneous, but I think they could run at a faster tempo, Forestville. I mean, I know fatigue is going to be a factor here and rotations are going to be important from their head coach, Lynn Holland, as this game goes on. But if we can get that push tempo and make Bulleen have to run the floor, it's going to pay dividends as we get into the fourth quarter.
The Bulleen Boomers now in the bonus for a couple of minutes now. Erin Riley at the line. We're seeing the first minutes of Chaplin and Emma Nopu check into the game for the Boomers. And we're down to our final couple of possessions for the opening quarter. Great hustle there, Keating. And it's just been pinged with a foul. A little bit unlucky, but she was very determined.
Yeah, I would say very unlucky there. You know, I hate that when you want to reward hustle and those defensive efforts and then you get a foul like that. But
how's the pass, the back door?
Great recognition there by the young Vidmar to find Freya open for the backhand layup.
Emma Nopu goes through her legs, loses possession of the ball. Freya going the other way. Briggs, now Ranger. And with 6 seconds left, there's a foul, and the Eagles will have one final chance at it.
And Taya Ranger, number 14, is the same number her mother played. Rachel Swan, one of the greatest players to ever play our game, wearing her mum's number proudly, no doubt. She doesn't look anything like her mum, but doesn't mind a shot. Her mum was lethal from all over the floor, but not a centre like her mum, a point guard. So it'll be interesting to see how she goes today as a baby of this team.
I was going to say, if she had have hit that at the buzzer, she'd be shooting it just as well as her mum, but wasn't to be as the quarter time siren went. There's some of the crowd coming into the State Basketball Centre. You can see on screen now as Forestville take a 21-19 quarter time lead. And as you mentioned, about halfway through the quarter, both teams really settled now. They're starting to get into their sets. Bulleen were running the ball at a fast pace in the opening handful of minutes, but the Eagles have now matched it.
Yeah, they have. They've done a great job. I think defensively, both teams could be doing better. I think they're closing out too poorly, allowing penetration. I think Bulleen have to do a better job of trying to contain or making the pass harder and more difficult when they the Eagles are finding the big girl Kelsey Rees in the keyway, because that inside-outside movement has played dividends for them in this first quarter for the Eagles. But, you know, defensive, they can lock it in because we're heading, you know, they're only playing 8-minute quarters, fully timed, and we're almost heading for an 80-point ball game at this level. So for me, it would be all about defense, to be honest.
That's a fair point you make. Obviously, Bulleen knocked off Southern Peninsula 76-59 as their highest scoring outing of the tournament in the quarterfinal, whereas Forestville, the 71-50 victory over Altona in the semi-final, has been theirs. But you're right, a lot of offense, some great looks inside. Vidmar's been excellent from three. There's Briggs from three. That's just as good.
And again, I think they've now shot 3 of 5, 3 of 6 off the top of my head from the three-point line. But that's been purely from the defense having to sag in on Rees because she's such a threat, but then she's got the IQ to find the open man. And credit to the Eagles, they're knocking down their open shots.
Here's Keating, strong to the basket, met by Rees. Great D. Ball handling skills by Kelsey Rees is very good as well, I must say.
Well, I think it's good that they're just not pigeonholing her, and obviously that's something that she'd be practicing at the Centre of Excellence on a daily basis with the head coach Kristen Veal, is that she just doesn't become a post player. You want to add that to a game. The more that she can have, I guess, tools in her toolbox, the harder she is to defend as she gets older.
Speaking of, Kelsey Rees inside, the offensive rebound, the putback, excellent work. There's Emma Nopu. Valenti Paya, she goes again, is fouled, and she will have 2 at the line. I think the Boomers probably just need to be a little bit careful at this stage of the game, that it's the Eagles look to get the upper hand late in that first quarter, early in the second quarter.
Yeah, well, the Forestville have gone on an 8-point run here, so it'll be nice to hopefully Casey knocks things down 2 down, and it sends it back to a 5-point game.
Indeed, she does. Here's Ranger. Vidmar. Nearly lost it. Inside to Rees. You'll be seeing that a lot today. Vidmar. Back cut by Freer. Wasn't to go. Briggs again from downtown. 2 in a row for her.
They are stroking it from downtown here, the Eagles. Hot. You wouldn't think that they've played for the last 3 days here in Melbourne, but credit to them. And that's the one thing I think South Australia have done well, and to David Ingen, who was there, and now Scotty Butler with the Pathway program. The skill level or the shooting ability of South Australian teams has always been something that has been really good, and which is something I think Basketball Victoria could look to get better at.
Vidmar again, skip pass into Rees, back out to Vidmar, wide open. You betcha.
Damn, she is 3 of 3, 100% from downtown. Vidmar, I'm sure her dad, Tony, is sitting in the crowd, pointing, saying, that is my daughter. Great job so far. And now with the steal also.
There she is running the floor, goes into Erin Riley, is blocked. The Eagles will retain possession, however. You just see that great pass on the replay into Rees, back out to Vidmar. One of her 3 3-pointers of the day. This is a timeout on the floor, and they're already opening up a double-digit lead.
I mean, it's really important that Sam calls this timeout, but I don't know what she's going to do. Like, she could look to go to a zone, but they're stroking it from downtown, and that's something that you're willing to probably forego when you're playing a zone. I think they've just got to put more ball pressure on the wings to allow that pass entry to be a bit more difficult, and then be a bit more physical and wall up on Kelsey. Make her have to put the ball to the floor rather than allowing her to square up and play at space and find those open mans.
It's obviously been a focal point in the pre-game that Kelsey Rees was going to be a dominant player. In the Boomers discussions, they've clogged the paint. They've always gone into her, and it's left the 3-point line wide open, as you've mentioned.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to, instead of packing it in now, is just play a little bit spread. Put the onus on Kelsey. Instead of having, I mean, she's got 5 assists to her name already and probably about the same amount in points and rebounds, but make her have to score the points rather than the girls from the outside who are stroking it and feeling hot right now.
About to get underway again. Here's Vidmar. Now Rees. The long-range shot. That's an air ball, and it's come off. Taya Ranger.
Good chance now for Bulleen to settle into a half-court set and hopefully get a good look as they start to try and crawl back some of this lead that the Eagles have.
Keating strong. She's been doing that all game. I like the attack of Alex Keating. She's going straight into those Forestville bigs. Trying to open up something for the Boomers offense. There's Santalis.
The frustrating thing there is I watch that out-of-bounds play, and normally out-of-bounds you'd think, yep, that's going to be a 2-point basket. No one hits on screens. There's no physicality out there. No one's looking to just, not hit someone to the ground, but set a screen thinking, I'm going to get my man open, or I'm going to get open due to me hitting the screen. So that's something also I think at this level we need to do a better job of, is rewarding the screeners, but also hitting on screens.
Is that the inner opal in you or the head coach part of you, or a little bit of both?
Both. I don't like girls playing nice. You know, this is a physical game. If they wanted to play that, they can go play netball. I mean, we're a contact sport. It's really important that we use our physical athleticism to our advantage.
Boomers applying the pressure in the backcourt here. They are rewarded with a Keating steal. Valenti Peja. That's a long two. And they're continuing to apply some pressure here. Freer gets away with it. Now Reese. Ranger to Vidmar. They're always looking for those backdoor cuts. There was another one there from Miles Scarlett. Just out of the fingertips, however.
You can see the momentum swing just a little bit in terms of Bulleen's way at the moment. Forestville have held it probably for the last 4 to 5 minutes, or the end of the first into the second, and now Bulleen is starting to creep and now have a 9-point disadvantage at the moment.
Valenti Peja. Here's Keating. Tries to find Santalis inside. Does. Spin. Left hand. No good. Scarlett with the rebound. Oh. It's a call against Valenti Peja.
That'd be a nice one to see on the replay. But that's what I like. I like to see a bit of physicality and a little bit of frustration, because one thought that she played really good defense, and then equally just makes the defense speak up a little bit. But I think she had her feet grounded there. So, but either way, good defense and good offense to be attacking mentalities.
There's Fascini. That one's no good. Valenti Peja, just a little bit of determination into her play. Nudges her opponent out of bounds as the Boomers grab possession. And I mean, right now you look at the two teams sort of offensively, it looks like the Eagles have the weapons and the Boomers are looking for some answers. Valenti Peja grabs her own shot again.
Great job by the little point guard there to reward herself. You know, as a shooter or the one shooting the ball, as you release it, you're the first one that knows where it's going. So good to see that second effort and 1% as she follows up there on the replay.
And we've seen that twice now from the Boomers point guard, as she earned herself a trip to the line.
Yeah, I look back at some of the greats that played our game. Michelle Timms, Christy Hara, two of the smallest people on the court, but two of the best rebounders you'll ever see in terms of the ability to know where the ball's going to fall, but also be there when the bigs get the ball and be able to rip it out of their hands.
32-24, the Forestville Eagles lead. Here's Fascini. Uses the screen, asks for another one, drives to the basket, hook shot. That is very, very good. Little sky hook from Grace Fascini.
Yeah, tough little shot there. I'm going to say Facchini, knowing that she's Italian and double C, correct me. I mean, there might be a lot of people that are Italians out there, and I did live there for quite a time, so I'm going to say it's Facchini, but I could be wrong, so anyone can shout out to me, but I'm pretty sure phonetically that's what it is. Ooh, charge there.
By all means, they'll be yelling at the monitor or the screen they're watching on it at me, rather than you. I would take your pronunciation over mine.
But reward there for solid defense. A bit of an erratic penetration and out of control as she found her foot from the Forestville Eagles, but solid defense to be outside the charge circle and take one in the chest for the Bulleen Boomers. 10-point
game as we have 3 and change in the opening half of the Under-18 National Junior Classic Grand Final of 2019. There's a jump ball. The ball will stay with the Boomers. Postman Horvat into Sune.
Forestville, I like their aggression and attacking mentality on defense. You've got to be smart now. They've got 14 fouls with 3 minutes left to go, and they don't want to allow Bulleen the opportunity to continue to go to the foul line to creep back that score line.
Certainly been their intention in the opening half to be very aggressive. Obviously, they're in the bonus in the first quarter, getting very close to it in the second. Nearly committed turnover, the Boomers there. Riley for 3, in and out. There's Fakini with the ball. Ashworth out to Fakini for 3. That one's good.
These girls, I'm pretty sure, are shooting, without having the stats in front of me, at about 75% from beyond the paint. Bulleen, or beyond the 3, I should say, the long range. Bulleen have to do something about that. They've got to make these girls put the ball on the floor.
And they're making it very tough for the Boomers on the offensive end as well. That was a rushed shot. Ashworth coming back the other way. Here's Reese. Trying to take her player one-on-one at the basket. She's been picked up for a travel, however.
And see, that's what I prefer. You close out, deny the wings, don't allow the easy pass, and then that puts the pressure on the big girl in Kelsey Reese to actually have to make a play. And there, Bulleen got the stop.
What can the Boomers muster up in the final 2 minutes of the opening half as they're down double digits? Trying to get their offense going. Here's Keating. Shot clock into single digits. Offensive foul. That one against Olivia Santalis on the screen. Subs coming in. Emma Nopu and Caracas for the Boomers. Montana Briggs for the Eagles.
Montana's had a great first half in terms of her ability to catch and shoot on the 3. I think she's got about 6 to 8 points to her name, and I know 2 of them are from long range, so hopefully she continue that in the last 2 minutes of this second quarter.
And just the guards as a whole, they're doing a really great job being able to facilitate. Here's Reese. Ashworth. That one's good.
Tough D there. Like I look at that and I think, yep, you know what? Caracas did a great job defensively. That's just a tough shot with the pull-up J and something that you want to see, right? I don't think that's another thing that we can add into women's basketball here in Australia is that mid-range game. They did pull up. We've gone too much into the getting our feet into the keyway and going for that 2-foot layup or the long range, but we've forgotten about the great game that is the mid-range at pull-up. Sandy Brondello, now the Australian women's Opals coach, something she was renowned for was her ability to pull up and hit that jumper. So hopefully that's something that also we start to see brought back into the women's game.
Correct me if I'm wrong, is it a very European thing now?
Well, no, I would say that the Europeans, the Spanish and the French, all of those, the Russians, they're skilled and they train in that. And when we do too, but I think it's just something that it's not ingrained in us. It's either in the keyway or from the three-point line. But hopefully when our pick and roll work gets a lot better, we have that ability to have that mentality of, yeah, I'm going to hit this jumper.
Big to big, Scarlett to Reeves, back out to Ashworth, and she is fouled. Once again, mid-range game.
Ball movement is great from these Eagles girls, inside, outside, finding open play, attacking mentalities. They're making these Bulleen Boomers have to work and play some D. It's a tough ask. I mean, it's almost a 20-point ball game. Oh, it is. No, almost. 15 points. So, it's going to be tough work, but we've still got a long time to go in this game.
And it's been the difference in this game thus far. I mean, I mentioned the Eagles have weapons on the offensive end. They've got those shooters in Briggs, Vidmar. Reeves inside has also been a really good facilitator, but knows when to kick it out and when to look for her own shot. And then those backdoor cuts as well, they've been excellent. Valenti Paya throws one up. Emma Nopu, the offensive rebound goes back up again.
And I think the second efforts have been great, Bulleen, but I think that's, if we were to look at the stats, I think their 2-point percentage is what's not rewarding them. Casey pushed the ball, Valenti Paya then, but the attacking mentality, because Forest Eagles are on 5 fouls, but they're not just watering themselves with a finished shot.
And I like how the Boomers have really tried to up the pressure defensively in this second quarter. Sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't. Here's Briggs. Fakini. Lovely move. Reverse. Oh, it's just rimmed out. And there's a jump ball being called between Emma Nopu and Rees. And the Eagles will have the ball with 28 seconds left in the opening half.
Great poise here if you see on the replay. Fakini, tough little finish with the Euro step, slight little reverse, and then a great contest between 2 strong physical girls to fighting for that rebound.
Here's Briggs. Doesn't use Reeves on the screen, but does find her eventually.
1 second on the shot clock. No, 19. Sorry, I can't see what the scoreboard is. But 10 now to play for the Eagles, and now Bulleen have created that turnover through that up-tempo pressure. So hopefully now they'll have the last play of the game with 14 seconds to get a good look and hopefully a 2-point or a 3-point basket.
Chaplin, ball in hand. Stripped. Fakini tries to keep it alive, nearly does, just puts her foot on the line. And now 8.5 seconds Bulleen will have for their last chance to end the half.
You're either going to go flat here or maybe a mid-pick and roll.
Chaplin, hand off, Valenti Paya. Looks to attack the basket. Great find.
Job.
Emma Nopu wide open under the basket. And that will end the opening half. Forestville 40. Bulleen 28. It is a 12-point margin to the Eagles. And we've said it all along in this half. It's been both ends where the Forestville Eagles have been successful, but their three-point shooting has been off the charts.
Yeah, I think it's why we're talking about a 12-point lead at the moment. Their ability, yes, they're knocking down the open threes, but their inside attack through the likes of Kelsey Reeves, inside, outside, allowing those girls time and space because of the collapse in defense and pack mentality. Bulleen Boomers allow those outside shots. So, that being said, that last play with 14 seconds to go from the Bulleen Boomers, I think, was really good. The first time I've seen them actually execute appropriately, set good screens, attack the rim hard, draw the defense and find the open man. So hopefully that gives them a little bit more momentum heading into this second half as they claw back this lead. And hopefully Sam's mentality or the voice she's trying to portray to these young girls is it's not about getting it back in the third quarter. It's just about, can we chip away at it? Can we chip away? Can we get to maybe a 5-point game leading into that fourth quarter to give ourselves every opportunity to win this game?
You mentioned that last play to end the half, which was arguably perfection at the offensive end. They have been aggressive throughout the game. It's just been that finish or the end product where it's been a tough contested layup or something that goes away from what they want it to be doing. But it's just a little bit of poise to find that extra pass where Emma Nopu had it right to end the half.
Yeah, you've said it correctly there, Steve. I think just a bit of poise at the finish of their dribble, maybe a few up fakes, and again, ball movement off the ball in terms of the other girls around the perimeter to be seen by the person penetrating. But credit to them, they're sticking at it. Their 1%ers off the offensive rebound have been good, but they're shooting probably, I would say, at about 20% from the field. But defensively is where it's at, because Forestville had 21 points at quarter time and they've almost doubled their scoreline. So for me, defense is where it's at for the Bulleen Boomers.
As we're about to get the second half underway, this to our Victorian viewers. School holidays are the perfect time to get together with your friends. Why not grab your buddies and take part in the upcoming 3-on-3 tournaments thanks to the Melbourne United VJBL. To enter your team, head to vjbl.com.au and hit 3-on-3. 8 minutes back on the clock for the third quarter, and we are underway for the second half of the Under-18 Girls National Junior Classic Grand Final. Emma Nopu, handoff, Valenti Paya. Great crossover, great drive to the basket. There's that aggressive nature again, and Valenti Paya will earn herself another trip to the line.
Great job there, nice assertive play and heads up, especially on that left hand from Casey Valenti Paya as she sends herself to the foul line. Again, just that attacking mentality both on offensive and defensive ends is what going to see Bulleen Boomers get back in this game.
12.8 points per game throughout this tournament at a tournament high 21 against Southern Peninsula, where she led her team to a 17-point victory in the quarterfinals. Here's Fakini. Vidmar looks to hand one off, loses it. Keating, fast break opportunity, run the other way. Good defense, not quite.
But that came out of their defensive pressure. If we think about that last play, everyone was up in the lanes. Everyone was in denial on the wings, and it made it hard for the Forestville Eagles, which then alluded to the turnover and that defensive transition for the Eagles. But credit to number 36 in Keating, sending herself to the foul line. But, Steve, they have to make their foul shots. They're now 1 of 3 in terms of the foul line, and hopefully this one will make them 50%.
Absolutely, if they are any chance to continue to reel in this deficit. Free throws are much of the key. Splits a pair there, Alex Keating, and it is back to an 11-point game. Rees beat up well by Emma Nyopu. She's been bailed out right at the end, however. Kelsey Rees will earn a trip to the line. And that was very good by Antoinette Emma Nyopu for about all of the last half a second.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You know, goes both ways. I would never want to be a referee. It's a hard job.
Splits a pair, Kelsey Rees, Keating the rebound. Just throws Vidmar out the way. There's the hustle we're looking for. Emma Nopu kicks it out. Chaplin. That one's a 3.
Maybe it's just this end of the bucket, Steve. I mean, it's this end. Maybe it's where we're sitting. We're creating this energy for all these girls down this end, because it obviously, this bucket for sure is raining threes for both teams. Nice slash cut there. Good find there by Freya to her teammate in Briggs. Really good slash cut.
Excellent work indeed by the Eagles to get it back out to a double-digit margin. Here's Chaplin. Outside, Karakis gets her own rebound. Long rebound too.
Yeah, as a coach, they're the ones you don't like. They're the 1%ers where Lynn Holland would be going, no, we should have that boxed out. That's just an effort thing. Not a lack of talent or anything like that or skill, just effort.
Valenci Payer, excellent going to her left, just can't find a finish. Another rebound, this time Chaplin. Keating, that's a 3. Here we go, here come the Boomers.
And that just comes off the back of 2 strong offensive rebounding sets there by the Bulleen Boomers.
Briggs. And she's stepped out of bounds. Uncontested, there's an error.
Great job here on the replay as you see offensive rebound, kick out, attacking mentality straight away. Nice follow through and a finish on the 3. Bulleen now find themselves within 7 points with just over 5 minutes to go in this third quarter.
And the ascendancy is well and truly with the Bulleen Boomers. Coach Lynn Holland quick to call a timeout. Antoinette Emanyopu with the lay-in, and it is back to just 5 points.
And this is what you want, right, is the ability for Lynn Holland to call a timeout, calm the troops. They did have a 12-point lead at halftime, and just say, take a breath, we got this. They're going to up the tempo. They're a strong team. They're a great club, and Sam leads these girls well. Now what are we going to do about it? You know, and they do say that cliche of championships are won in third quarter, but I think they, you know, this is where we'll set up the mentality for the rest of the game. But credit to Bulleen. They've come out on the front foot defensively, and that's just allowed them the trend here on the offensive end in the third quarter.
Is that what it's been from the Boomers this third quarter, just up the intensity?
Absolutely. I think they've been a bit more on the front foot on the defensive end, in the lanes, being a bit more disruptive with their hands in terms of deflections, the things that we don't or cannot stat. But then also offensively, they're pushing the ball, and as we spoke about, where they weren't making their twos, with their 1% efforts on the offensive rebounding, they're now rewarding themselves with some nice little finishes around the bucket.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Search Basketball Victoria. It's a 5-point ball game to the Forestville Eagles, looking for back-to-back championships for both Forestville and South Australia. Once again, Boomers showing some full court pressure. Frisbee Smith off the Ranger. Inside, Reese knocked out of her hand. She collects it anyway. But there's a foul on Chaplin.
Nice little pick and roll there by Rees and Ranger in terms of the offensive set, but that's where you want the young guard in Ranger to be on attack, 2-dribble, pull up Jay, and allow Rees the chance to get that offensive rebound rather than always looking for the pass. but that will come with time and obviously growth as she gets some more experience in this game. Great strong rebound there. Really, really strong there. I'm loving the battle between these two big girls in the paint. Nice work.
She's certainly proven her worth off the bench, has Antoinette Emanyopu, especially in this third quarter, taking it right up to Kelsey Rees. Chaplin inside, Emanyopu finds Keating. The Boomers making their run within 3 now.
Yeah, Eagles set up there in a 1-2-2 press off that dead ball set, and Bulleen just ate them alive there with some nice 1-2 punches off the pass. Travel.
Kelsey Rees inside spin move, gets away with one, grabs her own rebound, then is fouled. If you didn't pick up the travel, you'd have to admire the hustle.
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. There as we look on the offensive rebound. Or maybe not. I take that back. But great hustle there, but unfortunately Antoinette just put her hands in at the end, which now sees Rees heading to the foul line for another 2. But credit to Bulleen, we're back to a 3-point game from a 12-point deficit at halftime.
Oh, absolutely. Part of that second quarter, Bulleen were looking, at a big margin potentially in the second half, and they've turned the tide. And the game is well and truly in the balance.
Well, right now it's 12 points to 6 in terms of scoring in this third quarter, and that's all off the back of Bulleen's intensity uplift in this third quarter.
Valenti Paya to the basket again. That one's knocked out of her hands. They'll retain possession.
See, I love that attacking mentality, but that's where I'm like, don't lose your feet. Keep your feet in the keyway. You drew the defense. Now maybe can you kick out to the person on the wing for that open shot? Absolutely.
She did that to perfection to end the second quarter. We just need to find that time and time again out of Casey Valenti Paya. Here she is attacking again. That shot goes up, much more controlled.
Tough shot. Nice little running floater, if you will, in the keyway. Underestimating the complexity of one of those shots. Got to have a lot of control in your body for them. Nice little pass there. Inside. From Vidmar. Yeah, nice little pick and roll. But there's that ability to screen and dive. Laura Hodges, or I should say Summerton, in her formative years, an undersized forward, but her ability to screen and roll, even as an undersized big, just takes so much pressure for the bigs to have to defend that, and that's something that I don't think we'll do well at anymore. We're getting this no-man's space. We're not even popping, we're not even diving, we're just taking up space. Do one or the other, and do it hard.
South Australian fans will know that name very, very well, if not nationally.
I would hope so, though.
Should be nationally.
Or internationally as well. An illustrious career for Olympics. WNBA player as well, played in Europe. Sturt Junior, not Forestville. Unlike myself, played for Forestville.
I knew you wanted to pick a very well-known local for our South Australian viewers. Who is a star in her own right. Pressure may just be starting to get to the Forestville Eagles. Now they're starting to miss a number of free throws, as we mentioned earlier in the program with the Bulleen Boomers. Here's Riley. Handoff. Valenti Paya looking to attack again. Goes to Riley. Back to Valenti Paya. On her left. Another bank shot. That one, much like the previous, very controlled off the glass.
Yeah, a bit of deja vu there. Great poise, head up on her attack, and great finish.
Rees, great pass outside. I think that was Freer.
Antoinette is doing a great job. She's definitely undersized against the bigger 53 in Rees, but she's using her body to her strength and pushing Rees off the box out, which is nice. But a miscommunication there from the Bulleen Boomers. Sees number 15, Madison Freer, with an easy 2 points underneath the bucket.
It's a 5-point ball game to the Eagles. Bulleen getting closer and closer, but not quite taking the lead at one stage yet.
11 seconds here on the shot clock. Good opportunity for Bulleen to get a nice, easy look.
Kicks out right to the top in Erin Riley. Looks at a 3 as well. That one's no good. Vidmar the rebound, and Eagles out and running. Here's Frisbee Smith. Decides against it, goes inside to Rees. Turns right, tries to bully her way in, gets a rebound, puts it back in.
I'm like, for Bulleen, where's the support? She's undersized. Why isn't someone else in there from the weak side crashing the boards and helping the sister out?
Valenti Paya just trying to put Bulleen on her shoulders. Aggressive drives to the basket continuously. She heads to the line once again. Numerous times she's been there throughout the morning / afternoon.
Does like to go left. I've picked up so far in this game in observing her, so hopefully the Eagles will rectify that and push her to her right hand, because she scored now 3 times consecutively in this third quarter going to her left.
Here's Ranger. Picks her dribble up, finds Frisbee Smith. Long bomb by Vidmar, that one's short. Here's Chaplin running the other way. She's got numbers, left hand, just falls short. Valenti Paya, the offensive rebound, the foul, the 2 points. She'll have an extra one.
I think the referees were just rewarding effort there. I'm not sure where the foul was, but hey, credit to Bulleen. Nice drive here, as you see, but then it was a great follow-up from Casey to her teammates that sees her head to the foul line for the extra bonus.
And I think you're spot on there, Jenny. You see the facial expression from Casey Valenti Paya after the foul was called. I'm not sure she knew about it either.
But she'll take the points.
Absolutely.
And we're back to a 2-point ball game with 2.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
We are now staring at a very interesting and classic final quarter on our hands in about 2 minutes, but that's a great back cut again. The Forestville Eagles been doing that excellently in the first quarter, now trying to get back to it through Madison Freer. Here's Paya left again, great kick to Caracas. Now Chaplin wide open for 3. That's great ball movement by the Bulleen Boomers.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth there, Steve. That is good ball movement. That was set up by Casey. Attacking penetration, kept her feet in the paint, kicked out, second movement, blueprint of the game. Whack, nice open 3. That's good basketball.
1 point ball game. Bulleen firmly in control now despite still facing a deficit.
Was that a 2, not a 3? I thought that was the long 3. But anyway, it must have been a 2-pointer.
Frisbee Smith picked up for a travel.
Good challenge here for the Forestville Eagles now. Obviously, this whole quarter has been owned by the Bulleen Boomers in terms of momentum. What can they do now in the last minute and a half?
Absolutely. Just under 2 minutes left in this third term. Ball with the Boomers. Potential to take the lead. Chaplin. Screen goes under. That one's short though. Couldn't capitalise. Great hustle from Emma Nopu again. But again, the last half second she's been picked up with a foul.
That's unfortunate. Both teams are in the bonus now and sees them go to the foul line for what will hopefully be 2 easy points from the strike for Kelsey Rees.
That would have to be at least 3 fouls on Antoinette Emanopu.
Yeah, and a smart substitution there by Sam, letting her have a nice, easy, I guess, a breather on the bench. She's done a great job, Antoinette, and see Centala's come back in and replacing her, and hopefully in this last minute and a half she can continue the efforts that her teammate has been able to do in this third quarter.
Kelsey Rees doing her best impression to continue to give the Eagles a bit of a buffer as we head in to the final 90 seconds of the third term. Here's Erin Riley out to Chaplin, back to Riley.
10 on the shot clock.
Fakes the handoff, continues, tough bucket, she falls over it, drops down. Frisbee Smith going the other way. A little shove there, but play on. Fakini, I should say. Frisbee Smith, great drop pass, and it's a miss from Madison Freer. That was a gimme.
It's a great find, nice little back card. I love the ability to pass and card or give and go one of the underrated schools in this game. We've become so fixated on pick and rolls that we forget the basics of this game sometimes.
There's a technical foul being called here on Samantha Thornton, the coach of the Boomers. She was only warned just, under 60 seconds ago.
It's an interesting one. That's probably one that she might be regretting towards the end of this game. Her team has momentum. I know that as a coach you want to make sure that you're setting the tone and you've always got your team's back, but in the context of this game they're down by 1 point. Luckily for them, Reese misses the first, but this could give Forestville a momentum heading into the fourth quarter. So interestingly, it'll be hopefully one that she doesn't regret come the end of the game.
No, you're not wrong. Certainly the Boomers firmly in control, and it may just swing the pendulum a little bit here, where the Eagles may just feel like the Boomers coach and team were getting a little bit out of themselves. Fakini, great move to the basket. Bank shot's no good. Freer goes up again, gets blocked by Riley. Frisbee Smith ends up with it. Now finds Reese. Kicks out. Freer wide open. That one's short. Another opportunity for the Eagles. Just under 20 seconds left in this third term. Valenti Paya strips it out of Reese's hands. Quickly runs the other way. Chaplin for three. That one's no good. This one's heating up.
Tough. 4 seconds left on the clock and we give up an invaluable foul like that, which now sends the Eagles again. I feel like the last 3 minutes we've been watching on the live broadcast. Eagles walk down to the other end, stay ahead of the game by, getting to the foul line. So we've got to be smarter in terms of, yes, we want the aggression, but knowing the foul count is really important.
That's right, a number of times. The Eagles going to the line late in this quarter.
Foul shots, both teams. I mean, the last 3 times the Forestville have been to the foul line, they've missed 2. And shouldn't go.
We'll be remembering some of these stages potentially in the closing moments of this game. If this game is very tight when it comes to the end.
Woo!
Buzzer beating opportunity by Olivia Santalis doesn't go. But we are in for an absolutely cracking final term because the Forestville Eagles hold a slender 3-point lead over the Bulleen Boomers, who are charging back in the 2019 Under-18 Girls National Junior Classic Final. Jenny Screen, what do both teams need to be speaking about during this 3-quarter time break to make sure that their respective teams can get over the line?
Well, look, credit to Bulleen. I think Sam would be really happy with the third quarter performance, especially when her girls were down by 12 points at half time. They've come out in that third quarter, set the tone defensively, which allowed them to take the pressure off in the offensive end, but they were stroking it. It was like a game of 2 halves. We had Bulleen doing exactly what Forest were doing in the first quarter in terms of attacking mentality, find the open man, and they put 26 points on the board in that third quarter to 17 for the Eagles. For the Eagles, from my mind, they got a little bit tentative there. Obviously with the pressure, basketball and sport is a game of momentum, swings, and obviously right now the ball's in Bulleen's court. But hopefully, given that they are the reigning champions and hopefully going to back here, they'll be able to just compose themselves, get back in the ball game, and they've got a 3-point advantage here at the moment, purely because of the foul line or the foul count towards the end of that third quarter. So anyone's game right now, Steve. I really couldn't tell you who I think is going to win.
I feel like we haven't seen too much of Jordana Vidmar in the second half for the Eagles. She was really letting it fly in the opening half. Could be an X factor in this fourth term. While for Bulleen, obviously Antoinette Emanopu has to stay out of foul trouble. And I think if anyone is going to lead them home for the Boomers, it's Casey Valenti-Paya.
Yeah, obviously, she probably wears this team on her shoulders quite a bit, but obviously relishing the opportunity to be a leader of this group.
Fourth quarter underway, 8 minutes left in this contest. The ball is in Grace Fakini's hands. Now with Briggs. Freer. Inside, Rees. Little spin move, nearly lost it. Freer for 3. That one is good.
Beautiful height there, poised, nice in the shot pocket, above the logo, and almost goes for the steal there in the front court.
We're starting to see some Eagles pressure to start the fourth quarter. We haven't seen that for the majority of the game. Nyopu
Fankini just needed to stand her ground then. Antoinette was a little bit out of control, should we say, in the post. If she just had to stand her ground, wall up with Rees, they could have a nice double team there. But instead, credit to Antoinette, she's heading to the foul line for 2.
To make this a 4-point ball game. Typically, the commentator's jinx is applied.
If only we were that powerful.
Here's Fakini. Freer. Frisbee Smith decides against using the pick and roll, goes for a 3, and now they've been made to pay out the other way through Keating.
So that's where the Forestville Eagles just have to be a little bit smarter with their shot selection. Yep, Bray just hit her last 3, but in the context of the game, was that the best shot? Was it advantageous in terms of the situation? You know, a miss like that sends Bulleen now to the foul line, now puts the pressure in terms of team fouls on the board also for the Forestville Eagles. 2 against the team's name, and we're only a minute into this 4th quarter.
Once again, free throws.
Just got to hold her follow through. Just hold her follow through. Shoot it with purpose. Leave your hand up there. And put a bit of height on it. Great job. By the undersized big.
There was a whistle on the other court. I think she...
I don't know. I actually thought it was on our court. Maybe they're just a bit of... But they didn't want to let anyone know about it. But everyone stopped except her.
Briggs for 3. That one is front rimmed. Chaplin very quick the other way.
Oh.
Major contact there.
What are they going to call?
It's an offensive foul.
Interesting. I thought it was a look-off. No, you call it. You call it. Let's have a look here in terms of transition off the defensive rebound. Let's see if she's in position. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good call there by the female referee.
Great camera angle there too as well on the baseline. We got to see the defensive player set. But you were right. Definitely 2 referees just staring at each other, just waiting for one to make the decision. Briggs, tough move. That rolls in.
She's been solid. Absolutely solid. First half, we saw her just the ability to shoot the long 3. She's got nice vision of the floor, the ability to make the open pass and hit her targets, but also that attacking left hand as well. Not bad. I'm impressed.
Here's Vidmar. Now Rees. Frisbee Smith. Inside to Rees. Great pass. Unable to finish. The Boomers trying to find their way out of it. It's a jump ball. They will retain possession, however.
Rees did a great job there in that offensive set. You know, it's really difficult sometimes as a big player. You always want to bring the ball down. But credit to her, she kept it above her head, which makes it harder from a defensive purpose. Just take a deep breath. You know, no one's going to block her shot. Eyes up on the target and get a better finish on the next one.
Some front court pressure applied by the Eagles. Here's Valenti Pay out. Drop off. Emma Nopu. Those 2 have been excellent for the Boomers, especially in their second half comeback.
Yeah, 100%, Steve. I think they've actually driven this team to get back within a slim chance of winning this game. So hopefully they won't be too fatigued. Great job again by Antoinette. Being really physical there with Rees.
Vidmar was a little bit laissez-faire there. Nearly coughed it up. That one no good by Frisbee Smith. And the Boomers another opportunity to peg back into this margin. Keating drops it off. Chaplin finds Karakis. Looking for a teammate. Here's a cutting Valenti Paya. Jump shot. Good. Heating up Casey Valenti Paya. There's a timeout. It has been called. Timeout in favour of Forestville. 3-point ball game. 5 minutes remaining. Considering, Jenny, the opening quarter was so much in favour of the Forestville Eagles, and it looked like the Boomers didn't have much of an answer. This has turned out to be an absolutely cracking game.
Yeah, it has. Credit to both sides. I think they've both played the momentum swings. I think they've both used things to their advantage. Obviously, Eagles have the advantage with the COE athlete in Kelsey Rees and using her size. I think fatigue setting in now, coming in with her finishes. But credit to Antoinette and also Casey from Bulleen. They've done a great job in terms of setting the tone with their intensity, both on the offensive end with their push, but also defensively. I think Antoinette's done a great job, especially being so undersized against Rees and just using her body and her strength to bump her off the post and box her out with purpose. And credit to her, she's done a great job off the bench.
For those Basketball Victoria Country Association members watching our live stream, take note, the Under-12 Skills Days are back and are designed to offer junior basketballers the opportunity to receive top coaching to develop their skills at an elite level. Know of anyone who was born in 2008 or 2009 and can fall into that bracket, head to bvcc.net.au for more information. As the fourth quarter is back underway with under 5 minutes to go, ball in Ashworth's hands inside the Rees. Turnover applied nearly, but too much aggression showed there by Alex Keating. I thought that was fair play. I thought that was the aggression we want to see, but a little bit too much according to the official. Erin Riley checking back in for Alex Keating. She's had a fantastic tournament, has Alexandra Keating. That time the turnover is applied and Bulleen out the other way, but it's been tipped away by Ashworth. Forestville gain possession once again.
Great hustle there by Ashworth. She's come in, she hasn't played much in the second half, but good intensity there. Just needs to control and have a bit more poise on the offensive end.
Hands it off to Frisbee Smith, who takes a tough right-handed layup and is offered a chance to make two at the line.
No point arguing with the referees. You might as well get into the huddle and focus on the next play phase, regardless of whether you think it was a foul or not. Either way, you can't change the decision as Forest will see themselves go to the foul line. But I would say no foul. And I'm allowed to because I'm objectively sitting here. But in the game, you've got to move on.
There's Frisbee Smith extending Forestville's margin to 5.
These next 2 minutes are really crucial here for Bulleen, both on the offensive and defensive end. They need a good look here and a good shot, hopefully, and then a couple of stops.
Chaplin, great little cut and drive. Ball rims in. Pressure applied again by Karakis on Frisbee Smith. Another backdoor cut, this time Ashworth by Freer. Doesn't go. Rees picks up the rebound, puts it back in. She has been doing that all day long.
Nice little left-hand finish there, but a great recognition and back cut there from the Forestville Eagles.
Valenti Paya hands off to Riley. Thinks about passing, couldn't find the teammate, then had to give it up before travelling. Ultimately results in a turnover. Freer, Frisbee Smith. Another back cut. This time Ashworth again.
Deja vu, but just on the other side of the court. Bulleen have got a head snap, do a better job of that back cut. It's just a one-on-one defensive set there, nothing special.
Working time and time again for the Forestville Eagles. Valenti Paya. Karakis, cross court, Chaplin. 3, hand in her face. That one's good. Tough 3, Maeve Chaplin.
Tough shot, 4-point ball game with just under 3 minutes to go in this game.
Inside Rees. Tough again, Eminopu. Gets a rebound, tries to put it back in, and is therefore pushed aside. Eminopu earns herself the whistle. Great hustle there by the Boomers defender.
Great job we see on the replay. She's really, really undersized in terms of length, but just all heart as we see Rees just extend that elbow a little bit as she got frustrated with herself and not finishing off that nice easy 2. But for me, it's the other Bulleen players. They should be around in the key clogging that. When Antoinette's boxing out, they should be picking up the scraps.
Valenti Paya inside. Keating's back on the floor. Outside, Chaplin.
Going again.
Back to back. Here come the Boomers. We're within 1. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Thrilling finish to come. Frisbee Smith. Nearly double teamed. Gets out of that. Finds Vidmar. Now Freer. Left hand. Bank shot. That one's just a little bit long. Foul's been called against Kelsey Rees.
That's tough. You know, I'm not a big player in terms of height and was a guard, but I am married to a 6'10", and the frustration you sometimes feel when you're just playing with length there. I don't think that was a foul at all. Just a good contest between two players, but Bulleen now found themselves with the ball with under 2 minutes to go, down by 1.
Fourth personal foul on Kelsey Rees as well, that one. As you mentioned, we're now under 2 minutes. Here's Chaplin. And he's fouled again. Player of the moment right now is Chaplin. Back-to-back threes. Now has an opportunity to put Bulleen in front.
Great execution here. She read. She was going for the staggers. Comes back out. And because she's hit the last 2 threes, they're wanting to play and close out long on her to make her put the ball on the floor. But, you know, got the skill set to be able to get herself to the foul line and penetration as well. Now we've got a tied ball game. Steve?
The Boomers playing with great confidence through Chaplin, who has given the Boomers the lead.
Bit of poise and leadership here is needed now for the Forestville Eagles. Good set. The first time they've been down now since the second quarter.
What can they produce? What can they respond with? Here's Freer. Rees thinks about the long two. Travels. Is picked up for a travel. And it is unwinding here for the Forestville Eagles.
2 offensive sets and an offensive foul and a turnover there. I don't know, I can't see it from this angle whether it was a travel, but either way, it's a call, and Bulleen find themselves with the ball, and we've got about 5 possessions left in this game.
Chaplin, player of the moment. Ball in hand. Now Valenti Paya.
Tough thing is Forestville cannot foul.
And as you say that, guess what? There is a foul. Valenti Paya had a double screen coming the other way, decided to go against it to her favoured left hand, and she's come up trumps.
Yeah, the tough thing now for Forestville, they want to be aggressive, but they're also in team fouls, which means every foul they're going to give sends them to the foul line. Just as an example right here, right now with Casey. Valenti Paya putting another point on the scoreboard.
She's been shouldering the load for the Bulleen Boomers throughout this entire contest, has Casey Valenti Paya. And they've earned themselves a 3-point lead with just over a minute to go. Here's Briggs. Screened by Frisbee Smith. Now has ball in hand. She attacks the basket. Goes to Ashworth. That one's long. Rebound Caracas. Looks ahead. Can't find much. But Keating is there in the fast break opportunity. It's tapped away by Ashworth. And Bulleen will have the ball with under a minute to go.
Credit to Bulleen. I mean, they've kept Forestville Eagles tier to 11 points so far with less than, a minute to go in this fourth quarter. So, huge efforts from them. They've just ruffled the feathers of the Forestville Eagles. No real leader for me at the moment there for the Eagles on the offensive end, but huge last minute coming up.
Vidmar checks in for Ashworth. The Boomers need to get this in a hurry. Valenti Paya. What can they produce with this offensive set? Clock now down to single figures. Keating out to Valenti Paya.
Big shot.
For 3. That is a big shot by Casey Valenti Paya. And a timeout has been called by the Forestville Eagles as we now have a 6-point Bulleen lead. The tables have well and truly turned from the opening half.
Huge, massive 3. Big time shot, big time players. We have a look here. Great poise, recognition, penetration, draws Rees from the corner. Bit lackluster, but she was ready. Time and space, she's going to knock down that shot any time of the day. But, that's what you want at this level. She's pretty much carried this team, her and Antoinette, this whole second half. And credit to her, she gets rewarded with that last play and sends her team to a 6-point advantage. Bulleen, they've scored 20 points this quarter. 20 points. Unbelievable, like you said. From an offensive end, really nice. 80 points in 8-minute quarters of game. I'm not sure that's what we want.
You mentioned it very, very early. You've called it extremely well. You said after maybe a handful of minutes that we were looking at a high-scoring contest, and that's exactly what we've seen today.
Been some great shooting. I think the long-range three has been really good for both teams, especially for Bulleen, and obviously in this half at Forestville the second. But big play coming up. I wonder what Lynn Holland has these girls set up in, and hopefully they can execute it to precision to get themselves an easy, quick bucket.
So here we go, 40 seconds left, ball into Rees.
They haven't got time to waste. They've got to get a quick shot off. They're looking for Vidmar on the three.
3 for 3, top of the
three-pointer.
3
for 3, not Vidmar. Correction, Steve, nice work. Huge play, tough shot. Back to self in. Her mum too also was a player, played for the Lightning back in the 90s. So good to see her stroking it from long range.
Bulleen virtually switched every player onto Freer as she ran through those screens and still found herself open for a tough shot at the top of the three-point line to get this game back to within 3 points with 31 seconds remaining.
Yeah, tough one here. All Forestville can do is play a good solid set. We still have a 2-possession game in terms of the shot clock, 31 on the shot clock, but only a 24-second shot clock. So in terms of Forestville, they just want to get a good stop, no silly fouls, because if they send them to the foul line, then that's pretty much home and hose for Bulleen.
No, go on.
No, I was just saying, but you still want to be disruptive, but you've got to be smart, right?
At the conclusion of this game, make sure you stick around. Presentations to follow, and of course, our final game of the day at 1:30, the Under-18 Boys Grand Final, this time between the Melbourne Tigers and the Sturt Sabres. Certainly going to be a great matchup, hopefully just as good as this one here between the Boomers and the Eagles.
Good to see they put Rees on the out of bounds, using her length and size to their advantage to try and disrupt that inbounds pass. Oh, and a turnover.
Valenti Paya steps on the sideline.
No one wants to be a referee and call that foul, do they? Especially when there's only 29 seconds left on the clock. But Forestville's ball again, poised now for them.
Absolutely, gives them a sniff. Into Rees. Will find a guard.
Or not.
She'll go herself, don't you worry.
Oh!
And she'll even put the 3.
Stop it! Oh my goodness! The big girl! Woo! Her dad would be proud wherever he is.
I'm sure he's standing up in the stands, don't you worry. Kelsey Rees with the game-tying 3-pointer to make it 74 apiece. 21 seconds to go.
Point guard in the making, if you will. No worries, drops off. Cool, calm, collected, drains it from beyond the 3. Her dad was renowned for that trailing 3-point shot. Wasn't probably as a proficient dribbler as her, but hey, cool, calm, and collected, and she's got these girls leading the way. Now again, same scenario. Quick 10 seconds there. They've caught back up. We've got a tie ball game, but possession game is with Bulleen. Forestville just need to do good containment, send this game into overtime, or get a stop and get themselves back on offense.
We asked how will the Forestville Eagles respond, and that right there has been your answer. Now, with 21 seconds left on the game clock, what will Bulleen do in response? They've decided to take the ball from the backcourt.
Yeah, I'm surprised, isn't it? Maybe I don't know the rules.
They get the option to take it back from the backcourt or advance the ball. And it's nearly come undone, but Erin Riley, Caracas for 3 in the corner. That one bounces out. Here's Vidmar. Pass over to Freer. Lost it. Valenti Paya, open layup. 5 seconds to go. Has made it off the turnover. And they've got 3 seconds left.
Plenty of time.
Vidmar blocked by Erin Riley, and the Bulleen Boomers are your 2019 Under-18 girls National Junior Classic champions. What a finish.
Wow, that 20 seconds went so quickly. I actually thought we were going to overtime. Eagles just got a rush of blood. They just needed to calm it down. Yeah, they wanted to get a look at the basket, but that turnover at halfway, and credit to Casey. Obviously, Valenti Paya was the one that iced it on the cake for them, and she had a great MVP game here, as we see on the replay, putting Bulleen to the Under-18 Classic champions for 2019.
An absolutely hectic finish.
What
The
a
ball
game.
was in dispute. Casey Valenti-Paya strips it at half court and ends up seeing an entire half court by herself for the open layup. The Forestville Eagles had one final chance with 5 seconds remaining. Erin Riley blocks Vidmar at the buzzer virtually, and the Bulleen Boomers have rectified last year and have come home with the 2019 National Junior Classic Championship. Congratulations to Samantha Thornton and her team.
Great game. That's what you want, isn't it? I mean, you thought Forestville in the first quarter were just going to run away with it, 12-point lead heading into half-time, and credit to Bulleen, they just believed and stuck at it and hit some big shots down the stretch and got some good stops, and I thought Antoinette did a great job. So for me, yes, Casey led the way in terms of always from the front, but the X factor for me was definitely Antoinette. I thought she did a great job in that second half, but credit to Forestville there. Undermanned, they're probably losing or missing their X factor player, but and obviously having Reese come in and step in, and she hasn't played in this team for a while, did a great job, and they've only got 9 players. 9 players with 5 games in 3 days. That's a tough ask for anyone. So great job and a great performance from both teams.
Absolutely fantastic tournament by the Forestville Eagles. I think we're going to have a chat to Samantha Thornton in a second. Presentations to follow, but here is Jamie with the Bulleen Boomers head coach, Samantha Thornton.
Thanks, guys. Coach, congratulations on the win. How are you feeling right now?
Relieved. We knew that we're playing a classy club. Like, they've been in the last 4 under-18 classic finals and they've won 3 of them. And the point I made to our group beforehand is that we've got the utmost respect for the way they play. They come over here very, very well prepared. They had a couple of players missing, which can just be disruptive, but we knew it was going to be tough. And when we were down by 12 at half-time, I thought, the message had to be simple. We just need to get it back to within 6. We did better than we exceeded expectations, got it back to 3, and it was going to go down to the wire.
So 48 to 34 second half. What did you change leading into the second half?
Well, it's always been about defence, so I just think we had to. I think the girls had played a tough game yesterday against, obviously everybody's had a couple of games, but against Dandenong, we had a different game plan against Dandenong. We knew that this group's got a couple of SA Metro reps that we needed to lock down on. Kelsey Reese was amazing. Great future for her. I was very impressed with the way she played. We had to use a lot of energy to keep her off the foul line, which is where she mostly scores from. So I'm just proud of my girls that they stuck to the game plan. Meant that some of our normal players didn't get to play as much, but they're a great group of kids, so they weren't bothered by that.
Junior Classic champs, how does that sound to you?
A very proud moment.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
Well, a very big congratulations to Samantha Thornton and her team. We're going to get presentations underway, so we'll take you courtside, where we will declare the Bulleen Boomers National Junior Classic champions.
First up, we're going to thank 3 people on the court for which, without them, actually could not have, and that's our referees. We thank Jessica Strinyard, Mitchell Jordan, and Brett Power. Come on down.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up a massive clash between the Bulleen Boomers and the Forestville Eagles, where congratulations must go to Bulleen and MVP Casey Valenti-Paella. Make sure you stay tuned. 1:30 p.m. we have our under-18 boys grand final taking place between the Melbourne Tigers and the Sturt Sabres. But until then, it's goodbye for now.